Hello and welcome to this session of Body Positive. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Juliet and I've been recording a few of these Body Positive sessions. The aim of these is to connect and bring harmony to our bodies, our souls and our spirits, so that you may live life more to the full. Today's session is focusing on the shepherd. So if you'd like to get yourself comfortable, either seated or lying down, and maybe you'd even like to close your eyes. So let's imagine the shepherd waking early in the morning as the dawn is breaking. This shepherd is living in a Middle Eastern environment, so he must get up early to make the most of the cool of the day. He goes to the sheep pen where the sheep are beginning to stir. It looks like they've been safe overnight because he chose a good place in which to keep them safe. He opens the pen gate and the sheep start to come out, scrabbling around in all directions, following one another as sheep often do. But he knows his sheep, each one of them, and they know him. So he calls to them and they start to follow. He's not like a Western shepherd who uses dogs and ways of rounding up the sheep and cajoling them in a quite aggressive manner, if you like. This shepherd is more gentle. He calls them, they know him, they follow. For anyone that does think that they might just go on in their own direction, he gently uses his shepherd's crook to guide them back on course. The shepherd must know the hills and valleys well. He must know where the grass and the grazing is best and where there is water. If he doesn't know the terrain, then he is apt to lose some of the sheep. So he leads them and they follow. Sometimes the path is uncomfortable. They have to scrabble around over the hills and the rocks. Sometimes the path is narrow and they have to walk through a valley before they can come out the other side to the lush grazing on the hillside. They stop for a while by a stream to allow the sheep to have a quick drink. Then they continue on to the lush pasture. There's even a tree or two to provide shade from the heat of the day. The shepherd places himself under the tree where he can keep a weather eye on his sheep as they are grazing. Maybe he even whiles away the time by singing a song or playing a lute or guitar. It's a lonely job being a Middle Eastern shepherd. As the sun begins to dip, he gathers the sheep up again, calling them, encouraging them to follow him. He leads them to a new place where they will be safe overnight. And as they arrive, he encourages them into the sheepfold into the pen. Using his crook, he counts each one to be sure that none of them have got lost. It also gives him the opportunity to glance an eye over the sheep to check whether they've become injured at all during the day. Have they picked up any briars or brambles? Are there any scratches? Perhaps he uses some of his olive oil, a cure all for most ailments, to tend to their wounds, to remove any parasites like ticks, and to ensure that their overnight rest will include healing as well as sleep. At the end of his very long day, he closes the pen gate and goes for his well-earned rest and meal. So as we move on to our mindfulness section of this Body Positive, I wonder if you can imagine yourself as a sheep being led by the shepherd. But in particular, I wonder if there's any areas of healing, any areas of your life that need the oil that is the cure-all. So as we focus on our bodies, where in your body needs the healing oil of the shepherd? Where are the stresses and strains? Just become aware now of your body. Wherever there are areas in your body that need that healing oil, imagine it flowing over that area. Be it a muscle, be it a joint, be it a scar or scratch. Just imagine now that healing oil flowing up to that area. Or maybe it's your soul that needs the healing oil, your mind, your will, your emotions. Maybe something needs cleansing. Maybe you've picked up some negativity along the way today. Maybe you've got a knot or a parasite or a bit of tree that you've picked up. Is there something that scratched or scarred you? Is there a thought that is unsettling you and worming its way? Are there words that people have spoken to you? Disappointments? Imagine now the healing oil of the shepherd, cleansing your thoughts, your mind, your will, and your emotions. Or maybe it's your spirit. Are you feeling safe and secure? Or are you feeling a little lost, seeking something deeper? Are you listening to the voice of encouragement or the voice that brings life and security and peace? Or is there a nagging doubt, a nagging voice in your spirit? As part of our mindfulness to embodiment part of this session, we're going to listen to a song. Sometimes when the shepherds were on their own and very lonely, it enabled them to get closer to the Spirit, get closer to understanding the heavenly realms, get closer to God. So we're going to end our session by listening to a heavenly song. A song that my friend Sigrid has sung and received from God. And I hope that as you listen, it will soothe your spirit and draw you closer to the shepherd, the good shepherd, who looks after his sheep and cares for them and keeps them well.
زریش خره سبروی کوی غریب روی سرا باری خیه بوریشته خبره کی سر پویا شبوری خزی بوره کویا بوره سی خسا بوره خسی بویرا جبوره غیره یسورو Niera kasubrochiesi, niaborochedi kaza.
So I hope this session on the shepherd has encouraged you to feel whole and healed. And I encourage you to continue to listen to the voice of the Good Shepherd in your spirit. See you again soon.